The all-new 100.3 The Beat, throwback hip-hop and R&B. This is the all-new Community Connection. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. The legendary Smokey Robinson and the powerful tenor Mario Frangoulis are coming to the Peabody Opera House. Voices for Veterans is a national initiative using the power of music to permanently house homeless veterans by engaging celebrity musicians to raise awareness and money for targeted programs and volunteerism. We are joined today by Executive Director for Voices for Veterans, John McGaugh. Hello to you, sir.
Hello, Jay. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, you guys got a concert coming up, and I just really want to know more about this initiative. It sounds great.
Sure. Well, we're very excited. We've done a lot of smaller concerts that were kind of lead in and testing the model and building partnerships in Missouri, but it's all been coming to this, and that's a show featuring Smokey Robinson, Motown legend,
yes,
and our good friend Mario Frangoulis, who's an international tenor who's just got a phenomenal voice, and these two are going to perform together to support and to house homeless veterans in Missouri. It's going to be Sunday, December 6th at the Peabody Opera House in St. Louis.
Yeah, Peabody Opera House is known for the legendary concerts, but this one has something special.
Yeah, this is not only two phenomenal artists coming together, but the net proceeds will work to house veterans and provide services for veterans in Missouri, those people that have served their country, that have sacrificed time away from career, from family, put themselves in harm's way, lost friends, our neighbors, and in some cases, a minority, but in too many cases, they come back from service and have no home as they deal with different issues from their service. So we want to make sure they have a home, which will help with health outcomes, employment outcomes, education, but it really starts with that central home for the veteran and his or her family.
For sure. Well, tell me about that model, John. How does it work? Talk about how you all make that possible. And I love that you included health and employment as part of the initiative, not just for finding a home.
Sure. We did a lot of research for a good year and a half and talked to experts in the field and put together a steering committee of veterans and service providers and folks from the entertainment industry. And we were led to a couple of key programs that really complement other efforts where we could raise a little bit of money with small events or a lot of money with large events, which we hope to do here, that would have impact and not compete with other veteran groups. And what we found was a couple of examples. One is a group called Veterans Matter, which are national, and what they do is leverage existing resources for veterans, particularly that come from the federal government. And these are the kind of Cadillac standard for veterans. It's a service, a voucher called the HUD-VASH voucher. And what it is a housing voucher combined with a voucher for services for the lifetime of the veteran who needs housing and services. So it's that combination which is really effective. And despite the fact that legislators from the right and the left have come together to support these programs that have proven very effective, there are still a number of cases where veterans have qualified for this service, this HUD-VASH voucher, but still need first month's rent or security deposit to be able to leave the streets or leave shelters to go into a home with that voucher. So part of what we're doing is providing that money to landlords and veterans immediately to get them housed and access the service that's waiting for them, but for that month's rent or security deposit. So that's something we can do with smaller or larger dollars to access other resources and complement them. We also went around the state of Missouri and talked to folks and said, besides moving veterans in quickly with these vouchers, what else is needed? Is this going to be helpful? And what we heard consistently was we really need some discretionary dollars for when we move in a veteran who has been homeless into housing. We need a move-in fund that can help with furniture, toiletries, kitchenware, discretionary things that will help a veteran make a unit, a home, that many other grants often don't support. Mm-hmm. So part of what we'll be creating from this concert is a Missouri Veterans Move-In Fund, and that will be housed at the St. Louis Community Foundation for that very purpose for veterans throughout Missouri.
What a powerful thing to do. It is often that we miss those little details that can be a tremendous piece of feeling more normal and home and in balance even.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so much disconnection comes with homelessness,
I bet.
Whether it's spiritual disconnection, political, economically disconnected from the larger society that we all need to be part of and are part of. Homelessness is about that disconnection. And one of the reasons we choose music as a way to help address that is music is about connection. Mm-hmm. You know, when you hear music and you're moved, it doesn't matter if the singer is housed or homeless. We have that innate connection, and we're reminded of that through music, and we're often inspired to act and to give through that. So we could raise money in a lot of ways, but we choose music and the power of music because of those added dimensions that come with it.
Well, I'm very impressed that you take that into consideration and utilize it in your service to our veterans. John, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to this work and to lead this organization? Well,
I am a musician, so music has been and is a big part of my life.
What is your discipline?
I'm a guitarist and a singer-songwriter. I'm an okay guitarist, but I love to sing.
Oh, wow. You're going to love this as much as we will.
I think so. So I've had a deep love of music for a long time, and it has a big role in my life. But when I was in high school, I volunteered at a church near my hometown that was feeding homeless folks at a soup kitchen. Mm-hmm. And I had seen a lot of homelessness and was really surprised at how much homelessness there was in the United States. It didn't fit with the image I had of our country. Mm-hmm. So I went to the soup kitchen, and we prepared the meals and the tables, and then the doors opened on a Sunday morning, and a wave of people came in, children, families, older folks, single adults. And I served the meals, and we started interacting. And I remember I was heading off to college the next year, and there was a homeless veteran, coincidentally, a Vietnam veteran who was living on the street. And he was so concerned with my future, and he was asking me what books I had read and told me things to consider when I went to college around my major. And he was clearly a smart guy, and he was clearly a caring guy. And in that moment, in that interaction, it dispelled all the myths I had about those other different homeless people. Mm-hmm. And I realized it's kind of simple, but it's kind of profound, or it was for me, that's me right there, and it's just someone in a different circumstance. Homelessness doesn't mean they're separate or different. And here was someone giving to me who was very vulnerable, and that had such an impact on me. I couldn't not be involved with the issue once I saw myself pretty clearly in someone in that situation.
Mm-hmm. That's a very valuable lesson to us all, that before any judgments can be made is to see and understand where a person may be coming from, to put yourself in their shoes. It's an old adage.
I think you're right. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. You know, there but for grace go I.
That's it, sir. That is certainly it. And it's no distinguisher of persons. Homelessness isn't. And it doesn't also mean that it would separate that man's care and concern about you and your future. What a powerful testimony that is.
Yeah, it really was. And I hadn't thought about that moment for a while, but it is coincidental, too, that man happened to be a veteran, someone who served. You know, I hate to see homelessness for anyone,
right?
Anyone, child or adult, any circumstance. But there's something particularly wrong about veterans who are asked to go serve and put themselves at risk and go through often a lot of trauma or loss, and to come back and to be without a home. It seems like the least we can do is make sure they have a home and opportunities to thrive.
Exactly. I feel like it's an insult to them for that, and there's no way that we should stand by and let that happen. So I'm very glad to hear about what you're doing, and that the Veterans Matter organization works with you, but also to see the service and help through for their lifetime, as long as they need.
Yeah, that's right. It's a permanent solution.
That's right. And it can't be an easy undertaking. So with this being a funds raiser, but awareness raiser and connector, this is a great way with these major names and talent to not only bring in great funds, but man, what did it take to put something like this together?
It takes perseverance and great partners.
What made you choose Smokey and Mario?
Well, we had, I've personally always been a huge fan of Smokey Robinson. So much of modern music goes back to those early Motown records, and he wrote and sang so many of those great songs. So always a fan, and Mario Frangoulis has been involved with Give Us Your Pour, the parent organization for Voices for Veterans.
Oh, he's been involved.
Since 2007. We did a benefit CD that year that brought together celebrity musicians with homeless musicians in one CD. And he sang a wonderful track and then did a live show with us, and we worked with Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi and Mighty Sam McLean and Jewel and Pete Seeger and
Get Out.
That's
a great album.
Names. And I'm Natalie Merchant. I'm Keb Mo. I'm leaving out a lot, but
you're leaving out some. So that's an amazing soundtrack, and there's still more.
That's right.
Get Out. Now, have you been able to lend your talents to the project?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, because there's a wonderful track by a children's music artist. Does all family music. He named Dan Zanes, and he did a track with a 13-year-old homeless girl named Kyla. And if you listen very closely, there's some knee slapping on the track, and that's me.
Well, so, there you go.
I'm very proud of that.
You should be. You most certainly should be, as well as this effort and Voices for Veterans. Well, please, John, send out the invitation right now for our listeners.
Sure. Well, we hope you'll join us at the Peabody Opera House Sunday, December 6th for Smokey Robinson and Mario Frangoulis, Voices for Veterans, to support homeless veterans in Missouri. It's sponsored by our partners, Boeing and Ameren, Missouri, and it's presented by Give Us Your Pour and the Eisenhower Fellows of St. Louis, which have been a major key partner in Missouri, Eisenhower Fellows. So many partners have come together to pull this together, and we hope you'll be a partner by buying a ticket and telling your friends about this show and joining us on December 6th.
December 6th. Showtime is at 7?
7 p.m. That's right.
Doors open, I would imagine, at 6.
That's right. Doors open at 6. And for those that are interested, there's a VIP opportunity to get premier seating and come to a pre-concert reception that Smokey and Mario will drop by, and there'll be some other St. Louis dignitaries that are being pulled together, but it's going to be a special VIP reception. And folks that come to that will also have the opportunity to get a picture and chat after the show with Smokey Robinson and Mario Frangoulis as well.
Oh, a full-out night of wonderful entertainment, legendary singing and talent, but most certainly for the sake of those that have placed their lives on the line to serve us as veterans, Voices for Veterans, using the power of music to permanently house the homeless veterans that are in our region, by engaging celebrity musicians, raising awareness, money for targeted programs, and volunteerism. John McGaugh, this is a great project. So glad you came on to share with us.
Thanks so much, Jane. We really appreciate you having me on today.
It is my pleasure. You can get more information at VFVconcerts.org, as in Voices for Veterans, VFVconcerts.org, and Ticketmaster.com. Take advantage of your VIP opportunity to meet and greet Smokey Robinson and Mario Frangoulis, to enjoy the wonderful concert and then some time to exchange with them thereafter, all of which still makes resources and opportunities even better for our men and women who have served us in our armed forces. Also, would you just leave a word of encouragement or something to lay on our minds and hearts about not only our homeless veterans, but our homeless brothers and sisters in our area?
Yeah, well, for those who are experiencing homelessness, we know it can feel disconnected, and we're here to tell you that we're thinking of you. We haven't forgot you. You are our brothers and sisters, and we are in this together. And we're reminded of that through music and through gathering, things like concerts. But we have not forgotten you. We will not forget you, and we will find a home for everyone.
Beautiful. Thanks, John. John McGaugh, Executive Director for Voices for Veterans. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jay.
It's my pleasure. You know, I always boast about being a Hampton grad, a pirate, having a business degree from an accredited HBCU. But let me tell you something. Though it prepared me for the business world, being in business as a business owner and an entrepreneur is a totally different story. You would think that my success would be assured, but it wasn't assured until I discovered and learned what it takes to be a true business owner. And I've got to give that credit to the Women's Business Center of Grace Hill. And I am joined today by the Executive Director, Alice Wilson, to tell us more about the awesome opportunities that exist through the Women's Business Center and how enlightened you will become with this WeBo class. Alice.
Hello there. How are you, Jade?
I'm fantastic now.
Good.
I can see clearly now, as the song would indicate. There's a lot more that I didn't know that I do now.
Great. And you know, Grace Hill's Women's Business Center offers a workshop and business opportunity class, which is the acronym WeBo. Mm-hmm. And you were a successful participant and graduate of that class. You just recently graduated. It's a 16-week program, one night a week. We call it a mini MBA.
For sure.
And you learn so much.
Yeah, you do.
Wouldn't you attest to that?
I would attest to that. That's why I'm thrilled to be sharing it today. Now, Alice, it wasn't something that was widely known that it existed. I saw a flyer here or there, and I saw maybe someone who had come through your annual Wall of Fame, which made me aspire and to say, wow, look at this. There are women doing great things, and it is possible, but I still wasn't quite sure if that was for me. I'm convinced now. Tell me what you share and how you invite people to discover it as well.
So normally when we receive a phone call, a person is saying, I want to start a business, ABC business. Okay, great. Do you have a business plan?
And they say,
no. And I'm saying, great. And they said, great. And I said, no, great, because that's where we come in and that's where we can help and we can assist you. We're funded through the SBA and
Small Business
Administration. And we are also funded through United Way. And so with that, what we do, we help create entrepreneurs, and we focus primarily on women, but we assist men too. But the Women's Business Center is there to make sure that you complete your business plan, look at your executive summary. What is it that you're wanting to do? We allow you to look at your target market. How do you plan to market who you are, what it is, what kind of impact do you want to make? The other thing that we do, we allow you to look at your financials, which is the hugest part.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of people think that the business plan is something that is for someone else. It is. However, it is a roadmap for you, the entrepreneur.
That's something that you need specifically as a guidepost.
Yes. And so with that, we look at the financial piece, the financial literacy. How much money do you have coming in? That's going to be your revenue. But then you also want to look at your expenditures as well, and then what's left over. Mm-hmm. That's the cash flow piece. So we want to make sure that you have a break-even analysis. Mm-hmm. The break-even analysis allows you to look at how much you're charging for a particular product that you're doing or service that you're doing to make sure that it's going to cover rent. Mm-hmm. All of the utilities that go along with it, all of the supplies that you're going to need. And so it's really important. A lot of people don't consider that. Right. They just want to look at brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. I'm in business now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But who's going to support you if you don't have a plan and know the direction that you're really wanting to go?
Absolutely.
The Women's Business Center not only helps create business plans, but we also help those who are currently in business that want to expand. Right. And that's a huge component as well. So I'm excited to be where I am at such a time as this.
At such a time as this. And it was invaluable, the things that I learned there. Now, we know the statistics and the stories, the history of many businesses failing within their first year and or a couple of years after their inception. And primarily because we were not equipped, businesses were not equipped with that information on how to sustain their business. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody signs up to go into business to say, okay, I just want to go in and fail.
No.
That's one of the biggest fears and things that hold people back from trying. Well, here are some ways and the things that you can learn in order to be prepared and get beyond that hump there.
Yes. And, you know, the thing is, people always should try. You can't be successful if you just don't try. There's going to be a lot of people who tell you, oh, you're crazy. What were you thinking?
Right.
But it's okay, because the most important thing that you want to do is follow your passion, follow your dream, follow your commitment. Mm-hmm. Your dream isn't someone else's dream. I promise you, when you go to sleep at night and you have visions dancing around in your head, somebody else is not having the same visions. So you have to follow what it is the Creator may have placed in you to do, and only do that and do it very well. So what? You may make some mistakes. It's okay. We have a support team that is in place. We have counselors. We have facilitators that will see you through your entire process to make sure you are successful.
Absolutely. Now, see, that's the part that doesn't come on any brochure or in any curriculum, except for what I just heard.
But you are a testimony of that, because you have gone through the class. And so you are that voice of experience that can speak relatively to what it takes, what has occurred. I can talk about it and say all of the things that we can do, but you are the testimony that says all of the things that we did and did well.
And were very true. And one of those things was honing my vision. You know, everybody knows that my desire is to serve and to build in community. My keywords are women and children and young adults. And those are the things I want to do. I have the passion for through media, to present positive media. We do it here every week. And now I was able to define that and really formulate it into a business model that can be and will be, I'm excited to see, become a success.
Yes. And so we have a class that's going to be coming up. We're going to run 2 classes simultaneously on a Monday, and it's going to be at our Helix Incubator, and the Tuesday at Webster University downtown campus.
You can cover both locations. Whichever one is more convenient, you can choose. And now, we're talking about it here, but it's not too early to be thinking about this class, is it?
No, it's not too early. Actually, the class fills very rapidly. And so we're wanting to, this particular term or semester, if you will, I'm looking at filling the class and expanding it just a little bit more. So I'm looking at 20 participants at each location. And these are people who are serious about making an economic impact in their lives. You'll find that most women are the sole providers, and that's okay. But even those that have a spouse in place or a partner in place that's helping them navigate through this world, making your own and being in control. A lot of people think that they work hard at someone else's job, but you will work the very hardest at building your own. Right. And why not use that energy towards building your own?
Exactly. And reap that benefit for pouring into yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And creating some opportunities for your family and for the community.
That's right.
For yourself.
That's right. And that's where the economic impact comes into place. So not only have you created for yourself, but you've created jobs for other people. You have a supply chain that you're now supporting. You have those that are working at that supply chain. Everyone is staying employed because you had an idea. You stepped out on faith. And now you're doing the thing.
That's right. That's the kind of encouragement we need. And that's exactly what comes from the Women's Business Center.
So this is an exciting time right now to give to Grace Hill. Everyone is wanting to donate to not-for-profit organizations. I am going to encourage you to donate to Grace Hill, of course. Right. Grace Hill has economic impact, and we also have family and community that we are involved with. So go ahead and support Grace Hill Settlement. So many things are going on. And again, you can contact us at Grace Hill Women's Business Center, and we'll be happy to share some information with you. Networking, education, learning about raising capital, investors' perspectives, just so many things that can be utilized.
Send out the invitation for us. For anybody that's interested, how do they get on board?
Well, to contact Grace Hill's Women's Business Center, you can do it by two ways. You can call us at 314-584-6700. Again, that's 314-584-6700. We're in the office Monday through Friday from 8:30 until 5 p.m. We also have evening and weekend hours by appointment, but you can give us a call and we'll be happy to respond, or you can email us at wbcinfo@gracehillsettlement.org. Again, our email address is wbcinfo@gracehillsettlement.org.
Alice Wilson, the Executive Director of the Women's Business Center of Grace Hill. Visit gracehillwbc.org. Learn about the workshop and business opportunities. We call it WeBo, a 16-week business class, mini MBA designed to take your blooming and established business to the next step. If you are anticipating signing up for WeBo, check out this orientation December 18th from 11 to 1 and December 19th from 9 a.m. to noon. Success to you, sisters and aspiring entrepreneurs. Email wbcinfo@gracehillsettlement.org. Visit the website at gracehillwbc.org and give them a call, 314-584-6700, 314-584-6700. All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to submit for the community calendar, you can leave a message on a message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about today's show or any of our guests, visit us online at 100.3thebeat.com. Keyword community. Look for us next week at 7 o'clock and each Saturday, the all-new Community Connection on 100.3 The Beat. Throwback hip-hop and R&B. I'm Jade Harrell. Be blessed, do blessed, and bless the Lord.